As has become tradition under the guidance of Pitso Mosimane, Sundowns turned north, deeper into Africa as part of its pre-season preparations. This time, we would start in the home of Mulenga and Mwini, Zambia, on a chartered flight into Ndola.
It's probably one of the best feelings there is. It's good to be here and good to be with the team. Flight was short and sweet. I think it was about 2 hours. Managed to get your mind off things by watching movies, listening to music.
Brings a lot of memories, you know, because I'm not always at home. Spend most of the time in South Africa working, and when you come at home once in a while like this, it brings a lot of memories.
It's always nice to see other African countries. Obviously, it's not my first time here, but for the young ones that are traveling with the team for the first time and the new guys that are coming in, it's obviously a nice experience to look at other African countries. And sometimes it just shows you how privileged we are and how sometimes we take things for granted in our country.
Their first encounter was against Mufulira Wanderers at the home of Power Dynamos in the middle of the hood in the heart of the Copperbelt, Kitwe.
It really helps on the mental side, and it also helps with learning other people's culture as well and learning the conditions that they play football in, you know. It's not about all the smooth sailing pitches that we have. Sometimes you gotta play on a gravel pitch, on a bumpy pitch. How do you adjust to that? You need the points. So I'm grateful that we get the opportunity to come and visit other African countries before we resume with our league and cup competitions.
To be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. You expect like it to be hot, even though it's winter. You expect these overwhelming conditions, but it's been all right. The game was all right. We obviously didn't know anything about our position, so we didn't know what to expect. Surprise told us just before the game, he said, let's just stick to our game plan, do what we do, and hopefully we should do well.
The team we were playing with, they're sitting 60th on the log, and they came to compete also. They gave us a good game.
They've got good players in their team, but obviously when I look at the level, I think we're on a much higher level than them, even though we're not yet fully fit to play the full 90 minutes, you know, but they gave us a run. It was a good one. It's actually nice to play people that you don't know because it's a 50-50 chance, you know, it's about who's going to be better on the day. It takes one back. When we grew up playing street football, you'd move from this township to another township to go play guys that you don't even know. So I think we did well.
Yeah, it was on a Tuesday. You expect people to be at work and stuff, but they actually came to watch us. They weren't too harsh on us. They were quite welcoming. It was nice.
I'm so amazed at how the people in Africa support football. I mean, it was during the week, 3 o'clock, and you almost got a half-full stadium. It shows how passionate these people are when it comes to football.
The following day saw the Brazilians take on current league leader Zesco United under the leadership of Sompo Kekana, a new role for him.
I wanted to raise my responsibility a bit and see where I can go, and it's a challenge that I need to take as a footballer in order for me to grow. And if you want to grow, you need to challenge yourself. I think I'm in the right track at the moment, and I'm happy with that.
Looking at the two games, I think that Zesco was the more competitive because Zesco could make us look for the ball. That was the game which most of us, we could judge ourselves, and when you saw the way they were playing Zesco, they could keep the ball properly like the way we do, and they made us to run around and look for the ball. I think that's what we needed most. It's worth coming to Zambia and play games like that.
The resistance of Zesco was one of the best. We needed that as Mamelodi Sundowns. We needed that to test ourselves where we are at the moment. We managed to win the match, and we put ourselves in the right spots. We created chances. We looked good when we went on the ball, and even when we defended, we can still improve, but we're in the right track.
The last game of the Zambian tour saw some of the academy graduates join a couple of the Aboma Ankel as they took on Nchanga Rangers.
It's a good experience for them. Also for us as senior players, we get to share our experiences being in Africa and the types of teams that are out there in Africa. How is it being in the first team? They have a great opportunity to ask questions and for us to give them the answers to say, I cannot leave this football without sharing my knowledge with the younger boys. And we've got a bunch of quality players at a very young age. I think that's the future of not only South African football, but African football.
The trip to Zambia was the best for me because now we played with teams teams that are still currently playing. They gave us a run for our money. You know, they're good. Tactically, they can play. They gave us a game. It was a good trip for me.
Zambia's good for us. Last time we were here, we won the PSL.
Always, before we start the season, you have to come to Zambia and get some blessings. So you will see, even now, I'm telling you, when we go back, you will see what will happen this season, yeah.
The pre-season journey moved on to an icy Windhoek to give the Brazilians the chance to defend the Dr. Haiger Geingob Cup. But more importantly, it was another tough African experience.
For us, I think it's important because we're going to be playing in Africa. So we're getting used to that environment. It can become much more easier when we're playing on that side.
It's been nice. It's been very cold. I don't think I've experienced such a cold weather in Africa. Mentally, it prepares you. You know how tough it is to play in Africa. Physically, they're very ready. They go into challenge. They go 50-50. They don't pull out. So when you take that into the PSL, mentally you prepare. Physically, you are a little bit ahead of the rest. And I think that's important to have when we get back to South Africa, because the level of toughness is higher in Africa than in South Africa.
The team's mettle would not only be tested by the weather, but also their opponent in the semi-final, Angolan giants Primeiro de Agosto.
I'd say it was a final before the final. If I were to choose who to play in the final, I'd want to play them because of their good side. You know, you learn from them and they also probably learn from us. Tactically, we were on our toes. We always needed to focus a lot and concentrate. In that game, you didn't have to have a lapse of concentration because if you did, then they punished us. So you needed to be on top of your game.
At times when I get in front of a goal, in my mind I already tell myself I'm scoring. I have to be composed, you know, chill and just take a few more touches and then make up my mind.
Physically, yeah, they were tough. They were hitting us and the ref wasn't giving us anything. You don't keep your cool, you end up getting a red card.
The more you play in Africa, the more experience you get and the better your players became. And you could see from the game that it was, in certain stage, it was 50-50. Even though we are Mamelodi Sundowns, they are Primeiro de Agosto, they are the top team in Angola. They win the league basically every year or two. That's the kind of opponent you want to face, because in the Champions League, that's the kind of opponent you're going to face. There's no easy game in Champions League. I think it's important we have those kind of games during the preseason that will help us to strengthen our physical side also.
Those guys fight. They're like your typical platinum stars. They're going to come. But eventually, when we applied ourselves in terms of individual brilliance, our tactics, our coach always says those finer details, that's when we were above them.
I think everyone believed that we can score. We've got enough talent in the team that can get us goals anywhere. Everyone can score goals, you know. We just believe in ourselves that we're going to get a goal.
I think mentally the team is getting stronger, and normally when you want it down against African teams, they close the shop. They defend in numbers and they don't allow you spaces. But we managed to equalize in the last minute. Like the coach said, it's good that we have that mentality that even with 2-0, 10 minutes to go, we can come back, you know. If we put that in our mind and be ready that we can come back in any given time, I think it's important for our mental and it's going to help us in the future.
Penalties are like lottery. In terms of coming to play in this tournament as a team, you know, we prepare. We take penalties at training. We know who takes penalties, and if the team misses, it's their problem. We're just going to score penalties.
Sundowns continued their unbeaten preseason streak and met Namibian champions African Stars in the final on a not-so-balmy 2-degree evening in the Namibian capital. A true final test to see if the preseason was a success.
I'm ready. I think everyone is ready also. I'm looking forward to the season. We just have to keep on winning. Winning must be on our blood. Winning the cup will motivate us to win the next cup. That's what we want, to win the cups.
We're a very ambitious team. We have won the league before. With the Telkom Cup, we went to the semi-finals last year. So we can improve one more step and go to the final. And if we're in the final, we might as well as win it. We've won the Nedbank. We lost 3-2 on aggregate to Mazembe. 1 goal less, and the others we could have been through. I think we'll take it one step at a time, and the rest we'll see it later.
Surprise's early strike was enough to retain the Dr. Haiger Geingob Cup for Sundowns and bring the pre-season silverware tally to 2. Ritlatsa Mosaka.
As players, we know what is expected from us and we know what happened last season. I think we took some lessons out of that and we just want to start in a positive manner where we collect maximum points as we start, because those are very, very vital to start our race. So I'm looking forward to it.
So are we, boys. Good luck. And here's to a great 2015-2016 season with tons more silverware. Till next time, good night and God bless.